2023 champs, Perk. They hosted the Pacers in the Mile High City here. Still no Jamal Murray in this one. First quarter, the Nuggets ahead by 6. Jokic makes the bullet pass there to Julian Strawther for the layup. By the way, his pass confused Thomas Bryant a little bit. Jokic had 29 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds going into the half, Rich.
Well, and look, Jokic, he gets into these spaces. There's things he can do that no other big man can't. They just don't have enough. They barely have enough with Jamal Murray there. Without Jamal Murray, it is a real problem for the Denver Nuggets.
You know who's a problem?
Oh.
Pacers. Pacers have won 8 out of 10.
Clap your hands.
Look out.
22 seconds to go in the fourth. The Nuggets trailing by 2. Jokic picks up his dribble, turns it over on the pass to Russell Westbrook. The Pacers go on to win, even though Jokic had 41 points, 15 rebounds, and 13
He's
assists
now averaging a 30-point triple-double.
I'll take it one step farther, Brian. Nikola Jokic, he reminds us all that the lightning is coming. But since returning from injury, he's been unforgiving on the court. He's put up a nearly 40-point triple-double average, including a 61-point game. But the problem is Denver's only won 2 of his last 5 games in that span. Essentially, he's averaging a 45 triple-double, and they've lost their last 3 games here, Perk. They're on the verge of slipping into the play-in after they were the 3rd seed just a blink ago. How concerned are you about this team?
Malika, that's what teams are doing when they see the Denver Nuggets.
Do we need to put a warning on this show? Do we need to put a not suitable for work?
Nah, they're sweet, creamy, and soft in the middle. That's what teams are looking at. Listen, check this out. Here's the thing. They're going to score buckets. You have Nikola Jokic, who is a system in himself. He's going to be able to create and get buckets and create for others. Against the Timberwolves, they gave up 140 in double overtime. Against the San Antonio Spurs, 113. By the way, Victor Wembanyama was not available in that game. He's out for the season. 118 against the Warriors. Last night, 125. And then all of a sudden, we hear Michael Malone again go on one of rants that he's been going on all season long about the effort, the defensive mentality is not there. Why not? Why not? That is a reflection of the coach. When you're talking about guys putting forth the effort, guys competing defensively, that means that they're not actually listening to the coach anymore. I'm not calling for Michael Malone's job, but I am calling for some type of accountability on his part. What do he needs to do? What do he need to do better to get the ears and the attention of those guys in the locker room? Because they have the athleticism on the wing position that they should be able to defend at a high level and not rank 20th in the league in defensive efficiency.
They don't defend great night to night. They don't have great depth. But if they're going to do anything, it has to be with Jamal Murray.
And should we just be clear about what Michael Malone said about Jamal Murray over the last couple of days? He said that this is not us being careful. He said, we're not being careful here. He is hurt. He is injured, and we're hopeful that we get him back by the playoffs. But the way he said hopeful is the way I say I'm hopeful we win the lottery.
All right. That's not very good. That's not very good. Go ahead, Brian.
I would just say that when they have Jamal Murray and he's hitting on all cylinders and he is playing a two-man game with Jokic, and Jokic isn't scoring 40. He's scoring 27 and getting 14 assists. That is when the Nuggets are dangerous. Right now, they are not dangerous. In this game, Christian Brown had 30 points. Jokic had 40 points. They played in Denver, and they lost. They need Jamal Murray. They do not have a margin for error like they did 2 years ago. They need Jamal Murray. If they don't have Jamal Murray, they are not going to be successful. We have a big body of work on that, and that should be what there's a big issue, even more than their seed, which is also concerning.
Well, we're talking about many different things. I see Perk shaking his head. We'll get to you in a second, big fella. When you talk about big picture, small picture, big picture is that, like you said, with no Jamal Murray, there's no chance. They're a middle of the pack team. They were, I think, 10-10 to kind of start the season until mid-December, and then they took off from there. With Jamal Murray, they have a chance to be a part of that middle group. A part of it. But even then, you have defensive questions. In the big picture, they don't have enough. They are 2 or 3 players away from truly being the championship team they once were. So then you also have to kind of temper your expectations for what the Denver Nuggets can even be right now. They have maybe the best, one of the best players of all time. They have a guy that's putting up MVP numbers, but not many people really consider them a conference even finalist.
Right.
At an elite level, let alone an NBA championship caliber team.
And this dates all the way back to when they lost their depth after that 2023 championship run. Perk, why were you shaking your head, my friend?
Because look, Jamal Murray, yes, he puts them in the conversation of actually trying to compete for a title, but they got enough to win games, right? They got enough not to be on a 4-game losing streak. We're asking guys that have athleticism, a team that has some athleticism, to actually go out there and defend. Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Christian Brown, the kid Watson that come in off the bench, and you mean to tell me that they're going to be giving up that many points in the game while Jokic is putting up historic numbers? We can't do that.
Well, their next game is Wednesday against...
Whatever. Shut up.
It's time for our NBA Today's Big Three, the best 3 plays of the weekend. At number 3, Miles Bridges from the Charlotte Hornets. He gets a sweet crossover in the lane, and then he throws it off the backboard.
Oh, with the right hand, too?
Himself.
That's tough. Going sideways, throwing it, then catching it with your offhand like it's nothing.
How he just landed with style there.
And this is only number 3. Back to Houston at number 2. That's where Jalen Green cleared. Are you cleared for takeoff? Jalen Green has been cleared for takeoff. Taking on the Thunder Friday night.
The extension.
Gets a lob from Jabari Smith Jr.
I love it when people are like, man, you see that lob you threw me? It's like, man, I almost broke my neck trying to catch that lob.
This is practice that you these at Soho Yoga, those back bends, Richard?
Yeah.
That's where you get the training grounds for that. And then at number 1, Anthony Edwards, no stranger to our Big Three.
He bodied the bodies.
Taken over on Saturday.
Let's go. That's what I like. I like a 1-2 long arm him, get to the spot before him.
Adem Bona was not ready for that.
No, he was.
It's our top walking buckets in NBA history. See what I did there? Our first walking bucket, all-time scorer, LeBron James.
Yeah, he got a lot of points.
Running bucket.
Oh, God. The sound of this live was one of the crazy.
I was there, I remember. The speed at which it happened. We shouldn't slow it down. We should play it in real time.
It was like,
doom. And then, of course, the fadeaway.
Oh, God, now he's just showing off. Look, most points all time in the playoffs, most points all time regular season. 2 records that will not be broken, in my opinion.
That's the record-setting bucket right there.
Most points in the finals, too.
Most points in the finals.
Well, from LeBron to Michael Jordan, who sits 5th on the all-time scoring list. This insane over-the-head layup versus Dallas.
He was just different, Brian. He was just different. We talk about all the numbers. Highest average all-time in the finals against these
up and under?
Against my Suns. He averaged 40 in the finals on a route to a Game 6 win. He does it all. He does a little bit of everything.
This is the one, right, that sealed the 6th championship in the '98 finals.
Byron Russell.
Off like he what to do.
Hey, the Utah Wi-Fi is still he pushed off.
Perhaps the greatest bucket of all time. Kobe Bryant, 4th on the all-time scoring list. This one with the left?
Yeah. Again, we talk about there's certain people that are just different.
Yeah, Kobe being Bryant.
Yeah, well, they showed when he broke his wrist playing in Venice. He's sitting here shooting left-hand free throws, just practice. There wasn't anything Kobe couldn't do.
And then running a 3-point game. Banks it in. You think he called off glass in that one?
He owed D Wade one.
Finally, we have who I think might be the best bucket getter, at least in my mind, Kevin Durant, 8th on the all-time scoring list and still rising. Double crossover.
Might be Malika.
Yeah, Perk.
Easy
look at this.
Money sniper.
And then you got this insane, look at this. Little up and under. Oh my God, this is back in the OKC
Is that a Perk site?
If you squint, you can see you. There you is, Perk.
You don't got to squint to see Perk.
Well, back then, Richard. 2017, the go-ahead. So that got us thinking, Perk, are you taking Kevin Durant? Is he your favorite walking bucket of all time in the NBA?
You know what? Look, KD is the greatest scorer in my eyes, but I'm going to go with James Harden. I'm going to mix it up. James Harden, we forgetting 2018, 2019, that man averaged 36. He was Luka before Luka. When you talk about walking buckets and filling up the stat sheet.
Okay, so when we were talking about walking buckets,
favorite walking buckets,
I took out the greats, the Kevin Durant.
Your personal favorite, yeah.
Jamal Crawford, walking bucket.
You got that.
Like, look at this. The handle, people don't understand. Jamal was 6'5", 6'6". He had all the handle. You put the ball in his hands. Didn't matter what team he was a bucket. Most 4-point plays in NBA history.
My favorite is one of the greatest ever from the University.
Oh! Oh, no chill?
Gilbert Arenas.
Oh, no chill? No chill?
I loved watching Gilbert score. He was about half generation before his time. He would knock down those 30-footers.
Oh, he'd be a problem today.
That's good for us.
He'd be a
Enjoyed
problem.
the national championship game.
NBA